This program is brought to you by Link TV for educational and non-commercial use only. Mosaic, a daily news program from Link TV, presents a selection of news reports from independent and state-controlled broadcasters from throughout the Middle East.
تأخر رد طهران على عرض الرئيس الأمريكي باراك أوباما بتدشين بداية جديدة لحوار دبلوماسي بين البلدين.
Tehran responded quickly to Obama's offer of a new beginning, one that includes diplomatic dialogue between the two countries. Iran welcomed Obama's offer but asked him to do something tangible to fix previous American mistakes. Obama made an offer yesterday in a recorded message to the Iranian people and leaders on the occasion of the Iranian Nowruz holiday. He called for putting decades of U.S. policy towards Iran behind them.
I would like to speak clearly to Iran's leaders. We have serious differences that have grown over time. My administration is now committed to diplomacy that addresses the full range of issues before us and to pursuing constructive ties among the United States, Iran, and the international community. This process will not be advanced by threats. We seek instead engagement that is honest and grounded in mutual respect.
The
message of the American President Barack Obama to the Iranian people and leadership marks a new phase in the complicated and entangled American-Iranian relations. During the last 3 decades, relations between the two countries have fluctuated, depending on the level of their cooperation and animosity at a particular time. However, the two countries have never entered into a direct confrontation. Instead, they have always kept the door open both covertly and overtly. We leave you with Sukair Salam.
متأرجحة بين التحالف والأعداء كانت على الدوام العلاقات الإيرانية الأمريكية.
American-Iranian relations have always fluctuated between alliance and animosity. However, the fall of Shah Reza Pahlavi in 1979 marked a new era for American-Iranian relations. The Shah, who was an ally, fled, and he was replaced with an Iranian Islamic regime under the leadership of Ayatollah Khamenei, who declared animosity against America and described it as the Great Satan. This, however, did not stop Iran's new rulers from having a secret relationship with the United States, as was the case during the Iran-Contra scandal. On the surface, relations between Washington and Tehran seem to be founded on animosity. Iranian-Arab relations also changed during the war between Iran and Iraq, when most Arab countries supported Iraq. However, Iraqi-American relations continued to change over time depending on the American administration in Washington, as well as the dominant force within the Islamic Republic of Iran at a particular time. Former Iranian president and reformer Mohammad Khatami, who used to be calm, at least in the tone of his speeches, changed Iran's policy from confrontation to seeking dialogue between countries. However, the return of American Republicans, who were influenced by neoconservative ideologies, coincided with the return of conservatives in Iran, which was marked by the arrival of President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad to the presidency. Differences over the nuclear program in Iran peaked just before George Bush left the White House, which left a stain on the relationship between the two countries. Today, President Barack Obama is trying to open a dialogue with Tehran, which reflects his determination to change U.S. relations with Iran. Instead of using the language of force, he has decided to use the language of diplomacy, hoping that the Americans and the Iranians can come to the table and negotiate. It seems that the common interest between the two countries is greater than their differences.
أعلن أحد مساعدي بنيامين نتنياهو المكلف بتشكيل حكومة إسرائيلية أنه حصل على مهلة أسبوعين.
Benjamin Netanyahu's assistants reported that he received a 2-week extension to finish making all of his calls to form his diverse coalition government. Netanyahu informed Shimon Peres that the negotiations to form a coalition are moving forward. At the same time, the leader of the Labour Party, Ehud Barak, is trying to get his party's support to join a government led by the right wing. The foreign minister of the former government, Livni, declared that the Kadima party will not be part of a coalition government led by Netanyahu. Our reporter from Nazareth, Elias Karam, joins us. Elias, in light of Netanyahu's current situation, do you think that this 2-week extension will be enough time? And what if he does not take advantage of this opportunity?
نتنياهو واضح أن لديه على الأقل في هذه اللحظة حكومة ضيقة من اليمين.
It is obvious that Netanyahu already has a solid right-wing government that could be proposed to the Israeli president next Sunday or Monday. However, he preferred to take advantage of the 2-week time period that was given to him by law, which will allow him to continue trying to form a diverse coalition government that includes the Labour and Kadima parties. By taking this step, he's risking the formation of a right-wing government. However, he is prepared to take this risk, and he is taking advantage of the time to convince the Labour Party and the Kadima Party to join a diverse government. The ball is in the Labour Party's court, because there are differing views within the party regarding joining a government led by Netanyahu. Ehud Barak, the leader of the Labour Party, and other members of the party really want to join Netanyahu's government. The Labour Party conference that will take place on Tuesday could decide whether or not the party is going to join the government. At the same time, Netanyahu is making a big effort to convince the leader of the Kadima party to join the diverse coalition government. However, the Kadima party's conditions are clear. They want to share the power with Likud party, and they want to alternate the leadership equally between Livni and Netanyahu. They also want the topic of a two-state solution to remain ambiguous in the new diverse Israeli government. This is why I think that this extension may endanger Netanyahu's efforts to form a right-wing government. Given the possibilities of forming a government that includes the Labour Party, the Kadima Party, and maybe even the Yisrael Beitenu Party, there is no doubt that Netanyahu's request today for an extension will shuffle the cards of the political game again, especially for the next 2 weeks. It seems like all options are possible. However, we must pay attention to an important point that Netanyahu made when he asked for this extension. He said that his meeting with the Central Command for the Israeli Army motivated him to take advantage of the opportunity to form a diverse government. By this, he was trying to indicate that he wants to split the responsibilities regarding the issues of peace, war, Iran's nuclear program, Hamas, and Gilad Shalit. He just wants all the different parties in Israel to share the responsibility over these issues.
ناحية أخرى طالب محقق الأمم المتحدة لحقوق الإنسان في تقرير قدمه إلى مجلس
A UN human rights investigator asked for a team of independent experts to investigate war crimes which Israel may have committed in the Gaza Strip. This was in a report which he delivered to a human rights committee. Richard Falk wrote in his report that the Israeli violence on the densely populated city of Gaza constitutes a war crime. He added that the Geneva Convention requires war forces to be able to distinguish between military targets and civilians. He also added that launching the attacks is inherently unlawful, and it may have resulted in war crimes. Targeting all areas in Gaza and sealing the border has made it impossible for civilians to flee the war zone, which is also a war crime against humanity, his report said. In his report, the death toll was 1,434 Palestinians, 960 of which were civilians.
وفي سياق ذي صلة قال الفائز الأول بانتخابات
The candidate who won the largest number of votes in the province of Karbala said that he was not a leader within the Baath party. Rather, he was only an employee serving the state of Iraq. Haboubi's statements were in response to accusations made by some political parties trying to prevent him from becoming the new governor of Karbala.
Independent candidates' ability to win more votes than the candidates from large parties in the local elections in Karbala has generated much controversy. Some political parties made accusations relating to his past since he was a member of the Ba'ath Party. His victory was a big surprise, especially when considering that he was accused of holding senior positions within the former regime. Al-Haboubi responded to these accusations by saying, "My membership in the Ba'ath Party was for official purposes, only so that I could hold my job. The rumors that I reached a high rank within the Ba'ath Party are not true. What proves this is the fact that I was allowed to run in the elections. If I ever held a senior position within the Ba'ath Party, I would have been banned from running in the elections according to the de-Ba'athification law." Al-Haboubi said that he is determined to become a governor because he won the elections and because he is the most capable person among the other candidates to govern the province. "I have the desire to achieve what the voters want me to achieve, which explains why I received the largest number of votes. The position of governor will allow me to better serve my people than any other position." The residents of Karbala held demonstrations in solidarity with him, saying that he is transparent and that his history is clean. They also believe that he can fulfill their needs, especially after the incompetence of the previous council.
He's been serving Karbala for a long time, since the era of the former regime. He held the position of deputy governor. He worked in Karbala and helped with its development. This is why the residents of Karbala voted for Mr. Youssef al-Haboubi. We believe he can develop Karbala. So far, we have no development projects.
We would like Haboubi to become governor. He is a good man and has a great reputation. We like him very much. He is kind and righteous. He does not beat around the bush when addressing the Iraqi people.
وإلى الديوانية فعلى الرغم من تلقيح الأطفال ضد مرض الحصبة.
Even though the children in Diwaniya were vaccinated against chickenpox, the number of children infected with the virus in the province of Al-Qadisiyah continues to increase. Several doctors hold the health administration responsible for this outbreak. Yasser al-Zubaydi reports.
تحقيقا بهذا الموضوع.
الحصبة مرض فيروسي يصيب الأطفال. ظهرت بوادر هذا الوباء في محافظة القادسية في منتصف العام.
Chickenpox is a virus that afflicts children. The epidemic surfaced in the province of Qadisiyah in the middle of 2008. The children living in the areas where there was an outbreak were vaccinated, although the number of those infected this year is said to be 430. A source in the health administration reported only 50 incidents.
التي سجلت عدد الإصابات ب50 حالة فقط.
They are covering up the issue and giving out incorrect numbers. There were 1,500 to 2,000 incidents, but they're saying that only 50 were infected in 2009. It seems like many officials only care about their own position. They say that the disease only spread in Hilya and not in the Diwaniya. They also claim that the disease is under control in Diwaniya. What kind of statements are these? They're not even saying that this outbreak was caused by any neglect on the part of the health department. We are blaming the health department spokesperson because they failed to do their job. The official press spokesman for the health department refuses to acknowledge the deaths due to chickenpox in Diwaniya. These lies will not help solve the epidemic.
The health department spokesman in the province has denied the death of 3 children from chickenpox. The frequent interaction between the health administration and the media has led to suspicion over the matter, which proves that denying the death of 3 children was a lie. Fatima's family is one that has lost a child because of this illness. They blamed it on the doctor and his carelessness. Fatima's father said that the expired vaccinations and the poor services at the hospital are the reasons why the illness keeps on spreading. They also asked the Iraqi government to put an end to this epidemic, which has spread throughout the province lately.
We took her to the clinic. We are not knowledgeable when it comes to medicine, so we do not know if the medicine was expired or not. I think many people in the province were given expired vaccinations, and they do not even know.
لقاحات منتهية كلها، يعني الناس كلها تصيح لقاحات منتهية حتى هم ما يعرفون بها.
فاطمة عمار بنت هي الصغير.
Fatima is my son's daughter. She was sick for 2 days and we brought her to the doctor. He said that it seemed like the beginning of chickenpox. They admitted her to the hospital for 3 days. On Tuesday, we told the doctor that it seems like she is not improving, and he said that she will improve. He did not tell us that she has a heart problem according to the x-ray. Then on Wednesday night, she died.
May God help you.
I swear to God, he did not tell us the reason. It would have been much better if he had told us from the beginning. On Tuesday, he told us that she had a heart problem caused by the medication.
If you want to see a real wonder, one must go to the health department in Diwaniya.
يوفر لصاحبه أعلى درجات الرفاهية ويعكس جاهه وثراءه.
It gives its owner the highest level of luxury and helps him show off his wealth and power. The question remains, did the global economic crisis affect the sale of yachts and boats in the Gulf? Maya Jardine takes us on a journey on a yacht in an attempt to answer this question.
هو أشبه بقصر متنقل سحره يجذبك ومقاييسه تبهرك لكن
It looks like a floating castle. Its majestic appearance draws you to it and impresses you. However, not everyone can afford to buy one. It is the peak of luxury and it is used to reflect the wealth of its owner. Today, however, one may ask what is happening to the market of yachts amidst this financial crisis.
I'm not sure if we will ever go back to the golden days. During the past 5 years, it was easy to finance the purchase of yachts because the banks were ready to give out loans at good rates. Today, however, the financial crisis and the difficulties that people face in getting financing from banks has negatively affected the demand for yachts. Despite this, some of the rich people will continue to look for yachts today because they can still afford to buy them.
The demand for yachts decreased. People are now being conservative in their spending. They're saying, should I buy it now or should I wait until the cost goes down? But the sale of yachts has never stopped.
Some people are waiting for the deal of a lifetime to buy a yacht. The decrease in the sale of yachts and boats during the first quarter of this year has reached 9%. Prices also somewhat decreased.
We have seen a decrease in the sale of boats when compared with 2008. The sale of boats decreased by 12 to 15% during the first quarter of 2009.
During the current economic situation, some may find it feasible to rent yachts. This spares them the cost of docking and maintenance, which may reach $2 million annually. If you want to rent a yacht that is 160 meters long and has some of its surfaces covered in gold, you will have to pay about $500,000 for just 1 week. The money has to be paid in advance. Also, you have to come up with an additional 25% to pay for other operational costs. These costs include the salaries of those working on the yachts, as well as the costs of food and docking. Yachts are still being rented and sold in the Gulf despite the economic crisis. There are predictions that the sale of yachts in the Gulf will prosper, which means that there will be more demand for additional piers. The current shortage of piers means that there will be a demand for construction projects to build private and luxurious docking areas. Demand for yachts has continued this year, though at a slower rate than previous years. Today, you can rent a small yacht for $150,000, but if you are one of the wealthiest people in the world, you would have to pay $350 million to buy it. Maya Jardine, Arabiya, Abu Dhabi.
1,000 days have passed since Gilad Shalit was abducted, and there is no deal in sight. Why did the prisoner swap fail? And what will be the fate of Shalit and the Palestinian prisoners? Answers to these questions and more on Link TV's Mosaic Intelligence Report.
Almost 1,000 days have passed since the abduction of Corporal Gilad Shalit by 3 Palestinian militant groups. At the time, Shalit was 19. he would have been at home in Mitzbahillah this week had the negotiations between Israel and Hamas not faltered. His parents have been sitting in a tent across the street from the Prime Minister's residence in Jerusalem, where volunteers have succeeded in a well-organized effort to attract hordes of journalists. Activists wearing blue and white Gilad Shalit t-shirts stood outside the tent to encourage passers-by to sign a petition urging the government not to turn Gilad Shalit into another Ran Arad. The story of Shalit has not only captured the Israeli public's attention, but has also garnered worldwide media coverage. I first wrote about Shalit shortly after his capture. Israel had then launched an operation dubbed Summer Rains in retaliation for his capture. Today, no one remembers the daily Israeli incursions into Gaza preceding his capture and the death and destruction they left behind. Everyone has forgotten the IDF's killing of a Palestinian family of 7 who were enjoying a picnic on the Gaza beach just 2 weeks before Gilad's capture. But this is history, just like the recent deaths of more than 1,300 Palestinians. 998 days after Gilad Shalit was captured by Hamas and 2 days after Prime Minister Ehud Olmert all but admitted that the government failed in its efforts to secure his release, the soldier's mother, Aviva, decided to write a letter to her son. She began,
I sit here in a tent on a street corner in Jerusalem. Almost 1,000 days have passed without you by my side. For almost 1,000 nights, I have neither seen the light in your room nor in my life. For almost 1,000 mornings, I haven't seen your smile, the smile of a boy waking up to a new day, the smile of a boy who loves life, someone who is a part of me.
Her letter is very moving. I want her to be reunited with her son, just like I want to see the thousands of Palestinian mothers united with their children. 10,756 Palestinians are currently imprisoned by Israel. There are approximately 380 Palestinian children in Israeli custody, many of whom are awaiting trial or sentencing, and others who are serving lengthy periods of imprisonments for such minor offenses as stone throwing. Shortly after Aviva Shalit finished writing her letter, reports surfaced in the Israeli media suggesting that Israeli forces killed Palestinian civilians under what may have been lax rules of engagement during the Gaza offensive. Quoting Israeli soldiers who fought in the offensive, the Haaretz newspaper reported on Thursday that soldiers had also ransacked and destroyed civilian property. The soldiers' testimonies made during a course at Oranim Academic College in Tivon runs counter to the Israeli army's claims that troops observed a high level of moral behavior during the operation. The testimonies include an infantry squad leader's description of an incident where an Israeli sharpshooter shot a Palestinian mother and her 2 children. Meanwhile, I watched an interview on the Israeli Broadcast Authority television with a representative of a group who stood a few feet away from the Shalit's tent. While sympathizing with the parents of Gilad, the man said,
We know that there is always a price too high to pay, and we have to be careful not to pay that price. Otherwise, we endanger the lives of countless other Israeli citizens in the future, and we throw out the system of law and order.
This reminds me of what Prime Minister Ehud Olmert had to say a week after Gilad Shalit was abducted at a cabinet meeting. I want to say something about the soldiers' release. We shall not negotiate with Hamas on releasing prisoners directly or indirectly, he said. Well, Israel has been negotiating with Hamas. Almost 1,000 days have passed. More than 1,000 lives have been lost, and more than 100,000 lives have been ruined. Let the prisoners and Shalit go home. I'm Jamal Dajani for the Mosaic Intelligence Report. To learn more about this program or to share your thoughts, visit us at linktv.org/mir. You can also read my blog on the Huffington Post.
The views expressed on Mosaic are those of the participating broadcasters, not Link TV or its sponsors. The production of Mosaic is made possible with the support of viewers like you. Thank you. This program was brought to you by Link TV for educational and non-commercial use only. Link TV is the only U.S. television network devoted to global and national news, with uncompromising documentaries and diverse cultural programs. Programs which connect you to the world.